Well, it's Thursday. Hello, good morning. I'm up here in front of Total Mobility Services up in Hollywood, off of South 21st Avenue, down the street from my favorite Brazilian restaurant, Via Brazil. Okay, several weeks ago, I was here back in probably about May 20th, 21st, and it was the best. The reason I'm up here is because it's a long story, okay? Let me do a little brief history. I promise to be brief, okay? I'm disabled, handicapped, crippled, whatever you want to call it, I'm it, okay? One of the things I have done over the last 30 years or whatever has used a scooter. The only one that I really use is the Amigo type scooter. I've used several different. Over the years, I've had several. Anyhow, I found a place when I first discovered the Amigos. It was in Fort Lauderdale. At that time, it was Amigo Mobility. Okay, so. And it was owned and operated by this gentleman by the name of Steve. Had a nice showroom off Oakland Park in Broward County. So I had to go up there to get some work done and everything, and I ended up getting starting my relationship up there with the company, which was good. Anyway, soon after that, I think it was right after the second visit, I had an issue, and I called up there, and I found out that they had been sold, or Steve had retired, and they had sold it to a family had bought it. Carrie Senior and Carrie and Benet and Britain. The Britons had bought it, and so I had some sort of emergency, and I couldn't get up there. Okay, so the father, Kerry Sr., came over to my house and checked it out, did an emergency, whatever. And they had bought it, I think, probably within a month. They'd taken over the company. Anyway, so later I called up to go up there and everything, and I found out that Kerry Sr. had passed away. So but the company was still operating and everything, and it was then ran by his son, Kerry Britton, and the family, which I know over the years has been very good and everything, and they took pride in their workmanship and everything, and whatever I needed and everything, they made it happen. Okay, for example, I had a 92 Honda Accord, and I wanted a lift put in, and I had an Amigo, and they said, "Oh no, it's not going to fit." I said, "Yes, it will." I said, "You make it happen, it'll fit." Anyway, he put it in. He put the lift in, and for whatever reason, I wanted to check it out. And to make a long story short, it started to rain, and when he went to check it out, the lift came off. And so, but he took time, he redid it, reinstalled it, and reinforced it, and it worked great. And the scooter, as long as the scooter fit in the trunk, I knew it was going to work, and which it did. So ever since then, I've been associated with the Britons, and they did an awesome job. A couple years ago, they moved to another location a few years ago, and they changed the name to Active Mobility Services. Okay, and so but they were still good. They were still great, and I got probably about probably about 8 different scooters from them over the years, and I used them at work and everything else, and everything was going great. All of a sudden, this is where the problem comes. They decided to go over to or to become part of National Seating Mobility. Okay, so the local service now goes sort of national, and everything goes through their company. No problem. Last May, a few months, well, about a month ago, I had an issue, and I had to get some things done. So this is where I found Total Mobility Services here in Hollywood, which is off of South 21st Avenue in Hollywood, Florida, which is not too far, even though I had to take Broward County STS in order to get here, which is not that very far, but it's still had to do it. Anyway, so when I came up here, we went around and around, and Chad, who's one of the best technicians that I know, and he came, and he was looked at it, took care of the situation, perfect, and everything. However, he couldn't get the one part that needed to be done was to get some sort of the enclosure for the Amigo. So we called AMI, which is Amigo Mobility International, out of Bridgeport. Okay, spoke to a guy by the name of Keith, and Keith said, "Well, let's see what we can do," and back and forth, and anyhow. So I finally had to leave, but in the process, I had Chad check the battery, how the output of my batteries. I have two, the batteries that power up the scooter. So he did, and he said, "Well, they're running super low." I said, "Okay, no problem." Anyway, so I went home, and he said, "But we're going to order some and probably and get them back here and everything." Okay, so over the course of the next couple days, back and forth, I was talking to Keith to see what the problem was with the issue. Now, let me explain something to you. Let me just show you really a little bit. I know it's a close-up. Oh, please. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Here's basically what it is. Okay, you see this? This is the computer console, basically. And what was happening is, and that's the box, everything. So that's the that came, that was delivered to me from AMI back in, I received it on May 31st. And yes, you're going to say, well, May 31st, but now it's June 27th and you're just getting it done? Oh, come on, people. All right, I'm disabled. Okay, I can't just get in the car and come on up. I had to make arrangements and make sure and everything. Okay. In the meantime, I figured I'd try to give a call to find out, the people that I knew. Kerry, up at now it's National Seating Mobility. So I sent him an email. I also measured him, basically, I sent him an email. He got back to me. He said, "Well, we'll check it out and everything." So yesterday, about 3 days ago, I sent an email to the National Seating Mobility Services, both in Miami and one up at Fort Lauderdale, where Kerry's at, and is in charge of that branch up there. So I get an email response back yesterday, and it appears to be from this person who is out of the office in Fort Lauderdale. So he says it's about 8:15 in the morning, and I call him back, and he says, and they said, well, I leave a message, whatever, but he wants me to find out. So he says, and I asked him specific questions. He says, well, do you have the batteries up at the office? And they said, yeah, we just got to call and find out. As it turns out, this guy isn't even in Fort Lauderdale. He's, I think, in Savannah, or he's out of the state. Okay? There is no personalization anymore with the companies, except with Total Mobility Service. Okay? I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, nope. There it is. That's the other place. Yeah, Total Mobility Services up here. And Chad and his team and a team of people they got here are great. Okay? Got to be patient and get the work done. Top it off. In the email that I sent to them, I sent them a picture showing the serial number and everything. All of a sudden, I get a call from this guy said his name was Kenny, and he was calling me from the Miami office of the Miami store of National Seating Mobility. His question to me was, Mr. Taylor, he says, can you tell me something? He says, I'm a little confused. He says, I need to know the model of, we're trying to find the information, get the quote for you. I says, why would you be confused? Isn't it ironic how I sound like Dennis Michael Lynch all of a sudden? Wow, that's crazy. I think that's a compliment. For me, yeah, I'll give it to Dennis too. All right, so anyway, so I said, wait a minute, you don't know what it is? So I sent you the serial number. He says, yeah, but I can't tell what the model number is, or the model, or the brand. I said, before the numbers, what does it say? AMI. I says, can you Google AMI and see what you come up with, and add the word scooter or RT Express, because that's the type that I sent you in the email. And okay, so I don't know whether it was his first week or first day or whatever, but AMI stands for, according to my information, Amigo Mobility International. Okay, they're the people out of Bridgeport. They've been in business since 1968. I have gotten over the years, I have had the privilege to own and to use and to operate almost every scooter Amigo makes, from the front wheel drive with the little yellow cover to the rear wheel drives, the big ones, the RD Deluxe, to the current one I'm on is the RT Express, which is the smaller one, and I maneuver pretty well with it, and I prefer the smaller one. So, but National Seating Mobility is the worst. Okay, I don't know where they get their people from, but it took them 3 days to get back to me. So yesterday I called Chad up here at Total Mobility Services, and they deal with other brands and everything, and I'm not, but I use the Amigo brand, the Amigo scooter. Okay, how hard is it? So I called him up. I said, do you have the battery? He said, yeah. I said, well, I got the part. This is, if I come up, can I come up tomorrow? I said, sure. I said, what time are you going to be there? I says, I can come up in the morning. 9 o'clock? Fine, no problem. So here I am today. I'm getting it done, and that's the bottom line. So the main thing I'm trying to say, people, and I'm pointing out to the disabled people, there's no such thing as physically challenged. You weren't born physically challenged. Okay, you were born. I was born disabled. I was born handicapped in my time. Okay, I'm not that young, but now everybody's politically correct. Say it like it is. Don't try to sugarcoat it. I never have, never will, and that's not me. I guess that's not why I'm not a Democrat. Okay, I don't sugarcoat things. All right, but that's another story. So I'm up here and gonna get the scooter taken care of. Gonna get it repaired, and Chad said he'd send this on a side note to my friend Keith. up at AMI International, which they're super people up there, and hopefully we will have solved this problem and get the issue resolved, and you will get your part back, and everybody's going to be happy, and I'll let you know. But thank you for being patient, Keith. I told you I would. I just couldn't get back up here in time. All right. I don't live right around the corner. I live a few miles down the road in another county. Okay. So, we're doing our best. So, and thank you, amigo, for keeping me mobile. All right, and taking care of the people. And thank you for Chad and the group at Total Mobility Services down the street from Via Brazil. Best place for Brazilian food, other than the one in Aventura. Okay, so on that note, I think I got my point across. Okay, and maybe Kenny will get the message from the Miami office at National Seating Mobility. All right, and I miss the days from long ago where it was more personal, more personable. Now everything, you're just a number. Okay, and it's very misleading to get the information done. So on that note, the trains are coming. Look. Right across from the train. Florida, that's the Florida East Coast Railroad going by. Florida East Coast Railroad. Okay, it's Thursday, June 27th, 2019. Have a great one, everybody. Woo!